The House Speaker fight has exposed the absurdity of the extremists on the far right. No votes were taken today as Congressman Jim Jordan refused to abandon his bid to become Speaker, but he doesn't seem to be making much progress. Moderates holding firm, in part because of some of the vile tactics employed by Jordan allies and others who want him to become Speaker. As we noted last night, it's taking courage for these more moderate Republicans to hold the line. Today, we learned that the families of at least 3 House Republicans opposing Jordan have received violent threats. CNN obtained a disturbing voicemail left for the wife of one Republican congressman who voted against Jordan.
Why is your husband such a pig? Why would he get on TV and make a of himself? Because he's a deep state. Because he doesn't represent the people. So what we're going to do is we're going to come follow you all over the place. Jim Jordan or more conservative, or you're going to be molested like you can't ever imagine.
But these moderates clearly recognize the importance of the moment. We talked about it on last night's show. It's potentially a game changer, a signal to the extremists that their scare tactics won't work anymore. And today we saw why it was so important for the moderates to fight back. The far right proved today that they don't have answers or a plan. They just want disruption. They just want chaos. They even resort to threats and intimidation if they deem it necessary, and they count on their opponents to cower and give in to their demands. But when those opponents stand up and fight back, as they've done this week, the extremists get exposed. Congressman Matt Gaetz, who helped start this whole mess by leading the revolt against Kevin McCarthy, gave up the plot with some incredibly candid comments when he was asked if he regretted taking McCarthy out.
What did you actually get for leading this charge to push out Kevin McCarthy?
We're shaking up Washington, D.C. We're breaking the fever. And it's not clean, and it's not orderly, and the lobbyists and the special interests hate it, but I don't seem to mind too much.
Matt Gaetz doesn't mind. He got exactly what he wants out of this whole thing. Some TV time, nearly got Jim Jordan elected Speaker. He also, according to multiple reports, nearly got a punch in the face from Congressman Mike Bost of Illinois, who got in a shouting match with Gaetz, which almost came to blows, apparently. The altercation happened during a 4-hour closed-door verbal brawl among House Republicans. Afterwards, Kevin McCarthy described the incident and didn't mask his contempt for his colleague from Florida.
I was at the mic, I was speaking, and Matt Gaetz tried to interrupt us, so I told him to sit down, and he sat down.
What's your deal?
No, I told him to sit down. I think the entire conference screamed at him. People are, listen, the whole country, I think, would scream at Matt Gaetz right now.
But he's only part of the problem. Republicans have not been able to come together on a new leader. But they couldn't even come together on a plan to get the House back to business by temporarily empowering Congressman Patrick McHenry as temporary Speaker. Why? Because that plan would have required some compromise with Democrats, who have signaled they're willing to talk about a compromise. But see, for the extremists, compromise is a dirty word. Marjorie Taylor Greene raged against the prospect of House Republicans doing some actual governing in a blistering rant drenched in hypocrisy.
I do not support this plan. Republican voters worked too hard to give us the majority for us to enter some sort of temporary speakership. Our conference has a responsibility to the American people, to our districts, to work together and unify, and this conference is absolutely broken.
It's broken, and she helped break it. Marjorie Taylor Greene calling for unity is like a burglar calling for, better security. She's one of the biggest reasons why the Republican House is so divided. Her slash and burn tactics have done nothing but sow disharmony, distrust, dysfunction, and now it's all coming home to roost. Far-right Congressman Jim Banks of Indiana also railed against the proposed deal with Democrats.
We're handing our majority back over to the Democrats by going along with a power-sharing agreement. It's absurd. It's the biggest FU to Republican voters I've ever seen.
Maybe it's an FU to voters on the far right, but not to the majority of Americans who want compromise, who want government to work. The group I call the marginalized moderate majority, and there are many, many Republican voters in that group. A recent Pew Research poll showed the Republican-controlled House has a 59% unfavorable rating among Republicans. Almost 60% of Republicans rejecting the tactics of this GOP-led House. Look, Democrats have their extremists too. We've seen some of the absolutely crazy that Congresswoman Rashid Tlaib has said over the last week, and Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar. The rhetoric about Israel from some of them has been outrageous and offensive. But here's the thing. Many Democrats have called, for example, Tlaib out. Congressman Richie Torres, Congressman Josh Gottheimer, Senator John Fetterman, all have denounced Tlaib's rhetorics. Many Democrats have shunned her. They've treated her like the radical that she is. Not all of them have. But again, I'm focused on the moderates who are willing to call out the extremists. By opposing Jim Jordan, the more moderate Republicans took a big step in the same direction. They refused to elevate one of their most radical voices. They decided that Jim Jordan won't speak for them. And today, the extremists showed us all the stakes of this crucial fight. The extremists keep screaming today because it's all they know. But if we, the moderate majority, band together, this week has shown that we may not be marginalized forever. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.